What's up, everybody? Let's rock some more random records today. So, first up, prog rock band Tool. Prog rock group Tool, a lot of people know them. This is all the way back in '92. Their first EP, Opiate. And, obviously, their songs are under 4 minutes. Are all these under 4 minutes? Yeah, there's only two that are technically over 4 minutes, but like the actual songs aren't even 4 whole minutes because, Tool hadn't evolved to being a prog rock band yet. Like, Opiate and Undertow are actually good albums, good rock albums from the 90s that aren't boring prog rock, that aren't like, lame new metal or anything like that. Alright, we got some Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. This is a repress we got from Cole's, actually. Is there a year on this? 2017. So I guess it was just sitting in Cole's warehouse for a couple of years because we got it recently. And here's the vinyl for Purple Rain right here. And then up on the wall right here, I've got the art for that poster right there is the original poster that came in the original release of Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain, and then that was the record sleeve top left that the record came in, and then on the top right is the Let's Go Crazy single, which is the other French record that I have right here, which is this. Hold it right. As you can see, that's at 45 RPM. Press it again. Press it again. So yeah, that's Purple Rain and Let's Go Crazy single. Alright, moving on to Ween. Ween is one of the best bands ever. They're from Pennsylvania, I think, from like 1984. And these dudes are super talented. This might be the best album. I mean, in my opinion, I had my choice. I was in Cincinnati a couple years ago, and this is the pressing from 2009. And a couple of years ago, I was in Cincy, and I had my choice between like this, White Pepper. So obviously, I'm going to choose the Mollusk, especially since it said that it was colored. It was green. So I was like, dude, I'm getting this green Mollusk. There's no doubt about it. But Ween's awesome. Check them out if you don't know anything about Ween. Alright, we got The Residents. This album is called Not Available. And The Residents have released like 60 albums. And, done endless tours. They are something to look into, really delve into though, because they are mind-blowing. Alright, so then, moving on to, let's do some Woodie Guthrie. Woodie Guthrie is a folk, country folk singer from back in the 30s. I think he was born in Oklahoma in 1912. It says it right there, born in Oklahoma in 1912. And a lot of his songs are inspiring and positive, even though he had a life of tragedy, which is, inspiring for people. So Woodie Guthrie is inspiration to a lot of the punk acts that are out there, including AJJ. Pay attention. So yeah, now we've got some Black Uhuru. Black Uhuru is an awesome, straight from Jamaica reggae band. And members from here have played with Bob Marley and the Wailers. So I guess, there's groups that help each other. There's musicians that help people, I guess, on their albums. I guess studio, just like there's people who step into a studio and are more of a studio bassist, or whatever, or a studio drummer, but doesn't play a lot of live music. Maybe they have people in common, because I've looked it up. Alright, so we've got Steve Jones. This is just some random solo album I found. This is Steve Jones. guitarist, ex-guitarist of the Sex Pistols. On here, he actually does Did You Know Wrong? That's from the Sex Pistols era. It's just some like random, you know, like Steve Jones is a super talented guitarist, so it's sort of like basically like a metal album, but it's very guitar driven and it's really good actually. Alright, so let's move on to some Ultravox. Ultravox back in the day before like 76, they used to be called Tiger Lily, but they changed. I think when John Fox joined the band, I think he was in from like 76 to 79. So like I think he influenced the change of the name and everything. And if you can see it, produced by Brian Eno. Produced by Brian Eno. And that's epic because as we all know, Brian Eno is like the man, okay? And not only that, but Brian Eno, this album's from 1977. Brian Eno would produce Ultravox's album, would produce Devo's album at the end of 77 for it to be released in 78, you know, and then Eno did his own album Before and After Science in 77. So Ultravox, produced by Eno, comes out in 77. And then Eno releases Before and After Science, so his own album in 77. And like I said, he had already begun to help Devo. As Ultravox was released, he had begun to help Devo with their Are We Not Men, We Are Devo album. So that's classic. Alright, so moving on to... Alright, got a couple random 80s. Got a Foreigner vinyl. You know, and picking up some random 80s vinyl's cute and fun. You know, I'm not big on buying a whole lot of 80s stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't mind to have like a little chunk or whatever, you know, help the local record stores. If I'm gonna go buy random old records, I'm gonna probably buy random 80s stuff from local record stores to help them out. Get stuff out of the way. Everybody knows who Aaron Elvis Presley is. No need to even go into that. Elvis Presley's the man. Alright, so we got another classic album, Rush 2112. It's like, you know, first from 1976, and it's like very futuristic. It's basically like it's a whole another world, a whole different planet, and a whole different atmosphere. They give it a pretty epic, weird feeling, you know, it's interesting. And then good old David Bowie. Good old David Bowie. And this is actually the soundtrack for the movie The Man Who Fell to Earth. And I would have a couple Brian Eno to show you guys, but I gave my brother my 1977 Before and After Science vinyl and my Brian Eno Robert Fripp No Pussyfooting vinyl. But yeah, I'm not worried about that, of course. But I don't have a whole lot of Bowie or Eno on vinyl. Alright, so moving on, the very last thing, get a shot of that. I got a couple of old punk pieces right here. I got a Billy Idol's first solo record, Billy Idol's second punk record, and I got Blondie's Parallel Lines. And I was going to show you guys this real quick. And Valley of the Dolls, this Generation X album, Valley of the Dolls, is from 79. Their first album's from 77, in the punk explosion. And, you know, people like Billy Idol and Generation X and Susie and the Banshees and the Pistols and the Clash and the Damned, they're all buddies, you know. They were all playing punk together, punk shows in the very early stages. As you can see, the classic Chrysalis record, the label was really cool. And then I've got another record, my Parallel Lines Blondie. It's got Heart of Glass on it. It actually is like the same record too. Both Chrysalis with the blue. Point down a little bit. There you go. So yeah, pretty awesome right there. And then this, I believe, you know, Billy Idol is the man, and I think he stayed on Chrysalis for quite a while because this is, you know, 77, 79. They released Generation X on there, and this is 82. And he still signed with Chrysalis. They had changed their record label considerably by then, a few years after that Blondie vinyl. But yeah, just some good old rock and roll and punk and, you know, oh, that Ultravox, like I was saying, you know, Ultravox, this first album was produced by Eno, and I think they got in with Ian Hunter after that, and Ian Hunter's epic, and, yeah, just rock and roll, guys. And, I believe I'm going to do one more video of my Lightning Bolt 12-inch, which is like the grand finale, and it's going to be awesome. And like I said, this is the art for the Prince vinyl that I have. I'm somebody who likes to hang stuff up on the wall. Alright guys, I'll see you guys soon. Rock and roll.